How's it going? This is Hoiman, and today we're taking a look at the S.H.Figuarts Goku figure. So this is the Saiyan from Earth version, and it is the 2.0 version as well. So there are some improvements over the old figure, which I'll get to in a bit. But for the packaging, you have a nice window to see the figure inside, and then this figure is actually kind of posed inside already, which adds some personality to it. And then the packaging is a nice white colour scheme with really nice pictures of the figure from various angles. And then at the top you have the window to see the figure inside. And then bottom you have a picture. And then the back you just have more pictures of the figure and shows the various poses he can do. And then it also advertises the Freezer figure as well. And then at the bottom you just have some legal stuff. To open the box you just lift open the side flap. And then you just lift open the front cover. And there's the figure all together with his accessories. So first up you do get some instructions showing what the figure comes with and how to operate the accessories. So here's the actual figure, and I do feel that this is a major improvement over the old figure. I used to have the old figure and I can say from experience that this is definitely a massive improvement in terms of sculpt and articulation. And overall the sculpt on this figure is just really nice. So taking a closer look at the face, I feel that they really capture the likeness of the character. Looks just like him pretty much from every angle, and then his iconic hair is also really nicely sculpted. But I will say that even though this is an improved figure, there are still some seam lines on the hair itself, and you can see them on pretty much every spike, so it does kind of detract from the figure a bit, but because it's a solid black for the whole hair, it isn't too noticeable. It's only when you really take a closer look. But then you go down to his outfit and you can see all the creases and folds. Makes it look very realistic and just adds a lot of detail into, I guess you could say, a kind of simple design. But it makes it look very effective on the figure. And then the figure is in a nice matte finish, but there are some darker and lighter shades of oranges to bring out all the details in the folds. And then the skin color as well is nice and natural looking. And then you have his cuffs and then his undershirt as well, which are nicely sculpted and painted. But on mine there is a bit of a scuff here, but it isn't too noticeable. And then you have the symbol for the front and the back as well. It's very nicely applied. And you move down to his shoes. Again, very nicely sculpted. And then the paintwork is very clean for the most part. So for articulation, the neck is on a double ball joint. So you can look down about that much. Look up that much. And then you can tilt his head side to side as well as twist. And then the shoulder, which is probably the biggest improvement over the original. So the ball joint is connected into the torso and it's also on a butterfly joint. So you can bring his arm out inwards into his torso, and you can also move it around however you like. And then there's also a hinge, so you can bring his arm out to the side. And then this piece of the sleeve is connected by a ball joint on the back. So you can move that about however you want so that it hides the gap when you're posing. And then you can bring his arm out to the forward, and because of the butterfly joint, you can really bring his arm inwards. And you can go bring his arm out to the back. And then he does have the bicep swivel. And then he has the double jointed elbow. And he's got the ball jointed wrists. And then for his torso, it is on a double ball joint. So he can lean forward about that much, not really a whole lot due to the sculpt here. And then he can lean back about that much, and lean side to side as well as twist, but it is quite restricted due to the sculpt. The belt itself is on a hinge, so you can swing that side to side. And then we move to the hips, which is another big improvement over the original. So they're on kind of a new style of Figuarts joints. So you can bring his leg out to the side and you can get about that much movement, which isn't a whole lot, but should be enough for the poses you want to do. And then you can kick forward about that much. And then because of the way it's sculpted, it still looks pretty natural. And then you can kick back that much. And he's got the thigh swivel as well. And he's got the double jointed knees. Again, a big improvement over the original. Still looks pretty natural for the most part. And he's got the ball jointed ankles. So you can go back that much, forward that much, tilt side to side as well as twist. And then he's got the toe hinge. So overall, he's got a lot of the newer style of articulation that Figuarts have. And like I already mentioned, it's a really big improvement over the original figure. So you should be able to get all the poses that you'd want. The only restriction is in the torso, but other than that, the whole figure is very poseable and has a good range of motion. But that's the figure. Let's take a look at the accessories. For faces, he comes with this happy smiling face. Comes with an angry staring face, an angry gritting face looking to his side, and an angry shouting face. For hands, he comes with a pair of fists, one instant transmission hand, one waving chopping hand, two Kamehameha hands, and two fighting styled hands. So my final thoughts are, overall this is a really solid figure and a massive improvement over the original figure. And if you're a fan of this character or the show, then I highly recommend this figure. But I will say, it is a bit unfortunate that they didn't include like a fireball effect that the original did. But other than that, it's a very solid figure. But I guess the only downside is that he's a bit light on the accessories department. But other than that, he's a very nicely well-made figure, and is a very good accurate representation of the character. That's my review. Thank you for watching, and enjoy some pictures.